Sometimes, love doesn't break us loudly. Sometimes, it changes us quietly, not with shouting, not with chaos, but with small choices that slowly pull us away from ourselves. Amara was the kind of woman people admired quietly, not because she was loud, but because she was focused. She believed in hard work, she believed in independence, and she believed that if you stayed consistent long enough, life would eventually meet you halfway. Every morning, she woke up with purpose, she dressed with intention, and she walked into her workplace knowing she was building something meaningful, not just a career, but a future. She didn't know it then, but the life she worked so hard to create was about to change, not because of failure, not because of bad luck, but because of love. She met him unexpectedly. He was charming in a quiet way, attentive, the kind of man who listened when she spoke and remembered small details she thought no one noticed. At first, it felt refreshing. After years of focusing on herself, she allowed her guard to soften. They talked for hours, shared dreams, laughed easily. With him, life felt lighter. He admired her ambition, or at least, that's what she believed. Messages became frequent. Time together became a priority. And slowly, love settled in. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't rushed. It felt safe. And because it felt safe, she trusted it. She didn't notice when her routines began to change. She didn't question why she started declining invitations. She didn't realize how quietly her world was shrinking. Love has a way of doing that when you're not paying attention. It started with suggestions. You work too much. I just want us to spend more time together. You deserve rest. The words sounded caring, supportive, and she believed them. She told herself it was temporary, that stepping back didn't mean giving up, that love sometimes required compromise. So she made the decision, the one she never thought she would make. She left her job, the same job she once prayed for, the same career she spent years building. As she walked out of that office for the last time, she felt fear, but also reassurance, because she believed she was choosing love. What she didn't realize was that she wasn't choosing love. She was choosing silence over self. Days became quiet, too quiet. The mornings had no urgency. The evenings had no direction. Her phone rarely rang. Friends drifted away not because they stopped caring, but because she stopped reaching out. She spent more time alone, waiting for attention, waiting for reassurance, waiting to feel important again. But the man she gave everything to was no longer present. He came home late, spoke less, looked through her instead of at her. The warmth she once felt turned into distance, and distance turned into doubt. She began to question herself. Was she too much before? Was she not enough now? The arguments weren't loud. They were quiet and exhausting. The kind that leave you drained without ever raising your voice. And in those moments of silence, she felt something breaking inside her. One evening, she noticed the suitcase. It stood by the door, quietly waiting, and before he said anything, she already knew. There was no long explanation, no emotional conversation. He simply said he needed space, and then he left. The door closed behind him with a sound that echoed through her entire body. That night, she cried not just because he was gone, but because she finally understood what she had lost, herself. She mourned the woman she used to be, the confidence, the independence, and for the first time, she allowed herself to feel the pain fully. Pain has a way of waking people up. One morning, she sat alone with her thoughts and realized something had to change. She couldn't undo the past, but she could choose what happened next. So she started small, updating her resume, searching for opportunities, reconnecting with people she had pushed away. She stood in front of the mirror one day and barely recognized herself, but instead of shame, she felt determination. She reminded herself who she was before love became her identity: strong, capable, enough, and slowly, step by step, she rebuilt, not for him, not to prove anything, but for herself. Love should never require you to disappear. It should never ask you to abandon your purpose, and it should never cost you your identity. The right person will add to your life, not take it away. And sometimes, losing someone is how you finally find yourself. She didn't rebuild overnight. There were days she still missed him, moments she questioned her strength. But this time, she didn't abandon herself to keep someone else, because she finally understood something. Love should never cost you your identity. The right love meets you whole, not broken. And if this story feels familiar, maybe it's not here to hurt you. Maybe it's here to remind you to choose yourself.